Hey there, Pat, and yes, that's right. We are gearing up for the 4th of July, and we've got that 4th of July forecast coming up for you. A gorgeous forecast out there right now as we get a look from our Saddle Peak camera in Malibu. You're going to see pretty clear skies with the exception of a little bit of cloud cover right there just over the water. We did wake up to pretty cloudy conditions today. It mixed out nicely just before noon, and it looks like it's going to be the same pattern over the next couple of days. You'll see right here over the Santa Monica Bay, nice and clear, but that cloud cover is sitting off the coast just like we saw in that shot, making its way back into the forecast into the overnight hours. And that's going to be the pattern over the next couple of days. So it could certainly affect our 4th of July forecast, especially in the evening hours for those fireworks along the coast. We're going to continue to track that forecast for you, but we are taking you outside right now and you're going to see 60s and 70s. Warm for now, but a little cooler later this week. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Paul, back to you. I look up in the sky. Well, you know, we didn't get a lot of that June gloom at the end of June, so it's sort of trying to make a comeback, if you will, as we, well, are technically in July now. But we are looking at that pattern persisting over the next few days, so that could have a bearing on your 4th of July forecast. So we'll have that coming up in just a minute. We're taking you outside, and as we do, well, we are getting a look, it looks like, from our Mount Wilson camera this evening. And you're going to see, well, a little bit of low cloud cover off there in the distance, and that's going to continue to be the case into the overnight and morning hours. You'll see it approaching the coast, still somewhat clear, actually, over the Santa Monica Bay, starting to approach spots like Long Beach and the Orange County coastline as well, eventually making its way to the basin. And then our inland spots actually looking at a little more sunshine, but we could actually see a little bit of cloud cover there too as we head into the next couple of days. Oh, it looks like we skipped ahead here, but we're going to have the rest of your forecast coming up in just a little bit. I will tell you low pressure about to enter the picture with that a little cooler, and then a warm up on the way. Details in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right. That's something I've never heard before, derecho wind.
It's something we don't really get here on the West
What
Coast.
Is a derecho wind?
Very powerful wind. It's like a downdraft. Basically, it's a severe cell, and it's you'll see it on radar. It's actually looks like these red bands, and they come in, and it's very, very, very windy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's severe weather.
I'm glad we don't have those here.
Yeah, it's something that we're not too familiar with here in California, but we do get our share of severe weather, and of course, right now, not the case. Very mild for us here in Southern California, and staying that way for the rest of the week. We are looking at a few changes as we head through the week here. Of course, your 4th of July forecast, an important one, so we're going to have that coming up in just a minute. But first, we do want to take you outside the approach the coast. You'll see along the Orange County coastline, eventually the Santa Monica Bay getting socked in as we head into the overnight and as we head into the morning hours as well. You'll see, well, temperature-wise right now, still a little mild, 60s, a few 70s out there, 63 in Valencia, 66 in downtown, and 77 actually in Palmdale right now. So we are looking at a pretty warm forecast there. Low pressure is making its way into Southern California, and as it does, that onshore flow starting to build. Low clouds and fog in the forecast and cooler temperatures, at least for now. We are eventually expecting a warm up in store, but as we head into your 4th of July holiday, we are expecting to see a little bit of a cool down. Below average temperatures today, we got up to 78 in downtown. Average is 82, so we were a few degrees below average for this time of year, and we're going to be a little cooler. In fact, another couple degrees cooler as we head into the next 24 hours, 60s, mid 60s, and 70, 76 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. 70 in Santa Monica, Anaheim 77, Riverside 87, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to about 86 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So temperature staying in the 70s, 80s, and yes, a few 90s out there as well. You'll see right here on Futurecast, we are expecting more fog into the overnight hours, maybe even a little bit of drizzle produced from that fog, mainly over southern Orange County into northern San Diego County there. But other than that, we are looking at foggy conditions even through the 9 o'clock hour. Things start to mix out, kind of similar to today, closer to noon or so. We're going to start to see some clearing, and we're going to continue to see more clearing as we head into the afternoon hours as we head into tomorrow. But for now, high pressure is sitting to our east. We actually have low pressure digging into Southern California. That trough is actually creating a little bit of a cool down, the onshore flow, and a little more fog in the forecast. Eventually, high pressure moves west and rebuilds into Southern California. And once it does, we are expecting a warm up as we head toward the weekend. Until then, I want to give you your 5-day forecast for the valleys and the Inland Empire. For tomorrow, a little cooler and a few clouds inland for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny by your Thursday, and sunny and warmer as we head into the weekend. So yes, your 4th of July holiday will be a little cooler for the basin in Orange County, low clouds. So that could be a concern in the evening hours. But other than that, nothing but sunshine in the afternoon. Lena and Sharon, back to you.
Nice.
And we're getting a look outside right now. Foggy conditions, will they last through your 4th of July? We'll have that 4th of July forecast in your weekend forecast coming up. And yeah, pretty amazing stuff. Sylvia, we're getting a look outside right now, and as we do, a little bit of fog in the forecast. We're going to let you know if that's going to get in the way of your 4th of July plans. That's coming up right after the break. Don't go away.
Good. You want to relax, right?
Yeah, if you see her on your next flight, you want to think twice about.
But you know you'll have a good story if you stick around with her. There we go. Do it for the book.
So our good story is it's going to be a nice week. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. It will be a little cooler, though, so I know that's a concern, especially as we head toward the 4th of July, and a lot of us want to be outside. We want to barbecue. We want to see the fireworks. Yeah. That's an important one.
That's an issue.
That is an issue. So we're going to get to the bottom of that issue coming up in just a second. We're going to break it all down for you. We're going to talk fog. We're going to talk temperatures as well, and your extended forecast as well. But for now, we're going to get a shot of the moon. The full moon coming our way. Low clouds and fog and cooler temperatures, at least for now. So we're keeping temperatures on the cooler side, a little below average, 78 degrees. That was for downtown earlier today. Average is 82. So we were about 4 degrees below average. We'll be about 6 degrees below average as we head into tomorrow afternoon. A couple degrees cooler for you. 70 in Santa Monica, Palmdale 95, and Woodland Hills. You're getting up to about 86 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So keeping temperatures on the warmer side. As we get a look at future casts set for 1 o'clock this morning, we are looking at that fog rolling right back into the forecast toward the coastline there, also into the basin, into some of our inland valleys potentially, and starting to become a little more widespread by the 4 o'clock hour. By 6:45 tomorrow morning, we're pretty much bracing for a pretty foggy morning, waking up to gray conditions, especially if you happen to be at the beach or in the basin, or again, even some of our inland valleys getting some of that fog. Receding back toward the coastline around 9:30 in the morning, and then around 11:45, just before lunchtime, we're starting to see more sunshine, similar to what we saw today, especially at the coast. And then as we head toward Orange County, we're starting to see a little more clearing as well, closer to lunchtime. So at this point, low pressure sitting offshore, high pressure sitting to our east. It's eventually going to move west, and as it does, we are expecting a little bit of a warm up in our forecast. But that won't be happening until later the week. Until then, low pressure starting to dig in, that trough digging into Southern California, and as a result, we will see a little more fog. We will see cooler temperatures as well as we head to the next few days. So temperature-wise, want to break it down for you in your 5-day forecast. Also want to give you your forecast for the 4th of July for the valleys and the Inland Empire. 80s all the way until, well, about Friday. We get up to the 90s with more sunshine into your Saturday. For your 4th of July inland, we're topping out in the mid-80s with just a few clouds. So we really shouldn't have any problems when it comes to, well, any fireworks shows inland. Having a big one at the Rose Bowl. Paul Major's hosting that on Wednesday night. Looks like it will be clear. For the basin in Orange County, a bit cooler. Then low cloud cover as we head into your Wednesday. We're going to still see, well, pretty clear conditions, probably around the 7, 8, 9 o'clock hour at this point, but that fog could potentially start to roll in. Shouldn't be as bad in the basin, probably a little foggier at the coast. Partly sunny and then a little warmer Friday, and Saturday a little warmer for you. So if you plan to watch fireworks at the coast, there is a chance, could be a foggy one out there. Again, spots like Pacific Palisades, we're having a fireworks show there. So with that, yes, maybe you could see a little bit of fog, but for the coast, regardless, upper 60s, mild, and we will be tracking that fog for you as we move through the next few days. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
All right, thanks.
Trying my best right now, but at this point, Sharon, it is a little foggy out there at the coast. Long Beach right now dealing with foggy conditions, and well, we are expecting overnight and morning low clouds and fog, and a little bit of a cool down store, at least for the next 24 hours. You're going to see fog approaching the coast. We're expecting more fog to approach the Santa Monica Bay. This is going to happen to the overnight hours, and eventually that fog should be spanning actually into your inland spots. The question is, will it last through the 4th?
Yes. Losing track of days.
Yes. Yes. It's Wednesday. It's Monday today, but yeah, the 4th of July is on Wednesday. So just a couple days away, and we do have that 4th of July forecast coming up for you so you can plan accordingly if you haven't already. As we take you outside right now to our Mount Wilson camera, a little bit of fog rolling into the forecast, and that's going to continue to be the case not only tonight, but probably for the next couple of nights. Overnight and morning, low clouds and fog. So that could really impede on the fireworks, certainly by the beach, at least on Wednesday. Basin actually looking at a little bit of cloud cover. Inland valleys, well, you're looking at a little bit of it as well, and this should continue. Low pressure is actually sitting offshore, and as a result, we're seeing the onshore flow, that sea breeze starting to kick in, and with that low clouds and fog, and a little cooler, at least for now. So we are expecting a warm up eventually, but doesn't look like it's going to transpire before the 4th of July. Earlier today, we made it to 78 degrees. Average is 82, so we were a few degrees below average for this time of year. Record numbers in the triple digits, so didn't get anywhere close to that. And over the next 24 hours, getting a little cooler, 60s, mid-60s, waking up to cloudy conditions in the basin at the coast and to some of our inland valleys. And by the afternoon, mid to upper 70s. So again, a little below average there. Santa Monica 70, Palmdale 95, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to about 86 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of you below average, and again, looks like we are keeping things that way for the next few days. So good news if you like the cooler weather, if you want to barbecue, well, that's a good thing. If you like it a little hotter, well, it's not going to be quite as hot as at least where we should be for this time of year. Futurecast set for the overnight hours. There we are looking at fog. It's going to start to move inland at around 4 a.m. And then as we head into the, well, 6 o'clock hour, maybe even a little drizzle over South Orange County there by 9:30 a.m. Still dealing with the fog, but it is starting to mix out of the forecast just before noon over the Santa Monica Bay and most of the Orange County coastline clearing around lunchtime tomorrow. So let's get a look at that extended forecast, and you're going to see right here, well, for the valleys in the Inland Empire, a little cooler. Then by Wednesday, a few clouds. So again, not really getting in the way of fireworks into our inland spots. It's going to be a little minimal. It's going to be the overnight hours where we're really going to start to see more of it. And then by Thursday, a little more sunshine. By Friday, sunny and warm. And by Saturday, more warming. We're going from the 80s to the 90s by the time we hit your weekend. For the basin in Orange County, 70s, keeping things that way through at least, well, your Thursday and Friday. By your weekend, we're up to the 80s. And I will tell you by Wednesday, yes, for your 4th of July, we are expecting a bit of cloud cover, especially into the overnight morning hours. So at this point, doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of it around firework time. Again, the coast, though, might be a different story. Morning and overnight low clouds and fog. The clouds actually moving in the evening hours. So we're going to continue to track the timing of the fog at this point. But as we head into the later part of the week, a little more sunshine and a little warmer as well. Sylvia and Sharon, back to you. I was going to say I'll have to take a few lessons from you guys before I get
that
there.
workbook.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's a good idea.
Perfect.
Get the
love
workbook.
It. I love it. I wish I had that, you know, back.
I've said that's a
back when I was
nice
that age.
course that really should be taught in every classroom, don't you
You're
think,
right.
guys?
I agree. I absolutely agree.
We like
but then we've got great parents like you guys
Save a lot of
teaching kids.
tears.
So that's a good thing. So that's good. Thank you guys. All right. Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to take you outside, and you're probably wondering, is that a full moon? Well, almost. It's going to be full tomorrow, but it looks pretty full, doesn't it? And it's pretty clear out there, at least in this shop. But the fog is rolling right back into the forecast this evening, and you're going to see that on radar. It's approaching the coast, the Orange County coastline, Long Beach. The Santa Monica Bay still somewhat clear in some spots, but we are expecting to see more of that fog as we move into the overnight and, yes, the morning hours as well. 60s and 70s out there this evening. 75 in Palmdale, 61 Valencia, 63 in downtown, 63 in San Pedro. But we are expecting a little bit of a cool down. Mild now, by tomorrow, even a little cooler. Low pressure hanging off the coast. With that, the sea breeze is starting to kick up. Low clouds and fog starting to kick up as well along the coast, spanning to the basin, spanning to some of our inland spots. And temperatures will be on the cooler side for now. So it does look like the 4th falls in the cooler part of the week, and then the second part of the week should be a little warmer. 78, that was the forecast high today in downtown. Average is 82, so we were a few degrees below average. By tomorrow, Santa Monica 70, Riverside 87, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to a pretty toasty 86 degrees. As we get a look at Futurecast, you're going to see that fog really starting to materialize into the overnight hours by 4 a.m., starting to spread into the basin, into your inland valleys as well. By 6 in the morning, waking up to foggy conditions around most of the Southland, with the exception of the high desert and some of our inland spots, the IE right there. By 9:30 in the morning, we're starting to see a little bit of that fog recede back toward the coast, and by, well, just before noon, we're expecting to see clearer conditions. You'll see that in your 5-day forecast. We are dealing with a little bit of cloud cover for the next couple of days as we move into your Wednesday for your 4th of July, keeping temperatures in the 70s in the basin, mid-80s in the valleys, flirting with 70 at the coast, and gradually getting warmer as we head toward the weekend. Pat and Paul, back to you.
I like that, back to back.
Yeah.
Got their banners hanging too.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
They're not home playing video games all day.
Thank goodness.
No, I don't think. Jim said, thank goodness.
They'll be the people who own
Right.
the company that makes the video games.
Probably going to that Facebook University.
Probably.
All right. Have